protecting us. And I also want to remember Barbara Woodard, these are local residents, Carmela Casano, and Catherine Fish. Thank you. Public comment on agenda items and its comments. You can come up here and state your name if you want to make a comment.
Michael Joyce, member of the village. At the last village meeting, I brought something about the water. And Trustee Foltz was good enough to let me ask the question. And I dug further into it, and I found out that it had nothing to do with the village water supply. There was a mains break in the town, and that's what led to that letter. So everything is good. Don't have to push any panic buttons. But unlike Trustee Phillips, who let me ask the question and said, I don't know, but I'll find out, Mayor D'Onofrio and Trustee DeSalvo was pointing fingers. And they didn't even know. If you don't know the facts with something as sensitive as this, don't point fingers. Thank you very much.
I'll just say that that's not accurate. And Gary, thank you for the letter. Did you share this letter that the county, that I asked for from the county?
No,
That
sir.
I asked for, Mr. George, that I asked for. Why did the letters not have to go to Holland Falls residents? Because there was an insinuation that we were supposed to have sent out letters and we didn't.
No, there was no insinuation, it was my question,
Okay.
where you pointed fingers
All right.
at some other
Anyone
place
else
in
have
the
anything
town
on
and something
agenda
to do
items?
with water wells, which was totally fabricated.
Let me clarify, Joe. All
It's
Michael
okay.
is saying is that, they asked, since the water is coming from the village and the town got dinged, is there something wrong with
To
the
the
village
layperson,
water?
including me, it would make sense that it's the same water. But after the following morning, by 9:30 in the morning, after the county workers go to work at 9, I called. And from that, I called the health department, who
Right.
issues the letters. And this was their response.
No, but you were
Yeah.
correct, there's nothing wrong with
Right,
the village water.
right.
I think what Michael is
There
saying.
can be something wrong with Fort Montgomery water and not the village.
I think what he's saying is that, it was wrong to say, well, Fort Montgomery has well water that's contaminated, it's Corbin Hill, which is not true.
Yeah, I'm gonna
That's all
correct
he
that.
said.
I have that written right here.
Okay, all
I
right.
have that written right here. I'm gonna correct it. Okay, yes, sir. Come on.
Olivia, village president. Just a couple things. I see that there are some new no parking signs that are going to be going in. And I'm curious how those are going to be monitored and enforced.
Well, two ways I can come up with. Well, it's comments. I'll address that when we get to it.
Okay. Also, online you have the agenda available, I guess, just a few days or so before the meetings. And I saw that there were a couple supporting documents in regards to some of the information here. And I'm really looking to see if there's somewhere else that we need to be looking to find more information on these topics before they come up so that we can be making more informed comments and questions about things. So just to end here, I'd like to hear perhaps a summary or an explanation of what exactly it is that's going on with the water plant and why we're now at a point that we're implementing a $350,000 plus company to come and assist.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay.
further on the water, because this is, Catherine Degay. This is not a question, it's a comment, but I'm having difficulty understanding how it's fiscally responsible to charge or to pay $357,000 for this company to take care of our water when the salary of the 2 employees last year with benefits couldn't have been more than $275,000. So I'm wondering, again, and I'm sure other people are, how is that extra $75,000 being fiscally responsible?
Hello, Ron Malcat, Secretary Avenue. I see here there's a introduction of local law to authorize property tax levy in excess of the limit established by municipal state law. Yes, I understand it was a big storm. We bonded, I believe, $6 million for drainage, sewer, and water, which is going to be the 25% that we're going to have to pay. The village is going to have to pay. That FEMA is not going to reimburse us for. But I'd like to know what amount. I hope we'll discuss that and be public with it tonight. What amount of a property tax increase will that be? And not only that, is this property tax increase, is that just for the storm damage, or is this also for the water sewer project in Onador? And also, you know, because how much is that project going to increase our taxes? And we get some, the village treasurer to start giving some reporting on expectations, because people on fixed incomes would like to plan their future.
Hello and Happy New Year. My name is Pablo Pulido. I want to quote the part of hiring somebody to run the plan. I am a village employee and I was working for the water department. I'm presently suspended on administrative leave with pay, and I don't know why. But at the same time, I remember when we were going to buy something for the water department or any department that costs more than $500 or less, we will have to come out with at least 3 quotes to see if we save money. Over here, I don't know if they did their work to see if we can save some money, and they're only giving one number that, like I say, I don't know if it's the only number that they check on it, but this number seems a little high.
Anyone else? Okay. Bills and claims, fiscal year 2023-2024, $348,768.71. Some of that like last meeting, I don't have a breakdown this meeting, but a lot of that, a large portion of that is FEMA related, not all. I have a motion to pay bills and claims.
So moved.
I have a second.
I'm second.
May I have roll call?
Trustee Guerrero?
Yes.
Trustee Phillips?
Yes.
Trustee DeSalvo?
Yes.
Mayor DiNapoli?
Yes. Thank you, motion carries. Next on the agenda is approve the minutes that were taken and written on December the 18th, 2023.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Guerrero?
Yes.
Trustee Phillips?
Yes.
Trustee DeSalvo?
Yes.
Mayor DiNapoli?
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you. Next on the agenda is no parking signs northwest corner of the intersection of Rowe Avenue / Villa Parkway and north on Rowe Avenue, 393 feet. You have the recommendation from the chief. And the second page of his request would be the, what we would adopt if we put in the code book.
Motion.
Motion by Melanie, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jim Olin. We have roll call.
Trustee Guerrero.
Yes.
Trustee Phillips.
Yes.
Trustee DeSalvo.
Yes.
Mayor DiNapoli.
Yes, thank you. Motion carries. And next, we have no parking, another resolution, no parking, 584 feet west from southwest corner of the intersection of Eagle Valley Road and Mearns Avenue. Just to make sense out of that, it's the turnaround at the end of Eagle Valley Road. People are parking, maybe taking their dog for a walk, and then the dial-a-bus or a car can't get through. They have to back all the way down Eagle Valley Road. So that's what this is about. May I have a motion?
Make a motion. Second.
Motion by Jim, seconded by Gary, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion. Next, we have a budget amendment to increase the appropriation budget for police salary overtime contractual for $8,400 and revenue code for public safety fiscal year 23-24. This $8,400 is a reimbursement from Army Athletics for the escort that we give the football team and traffic control.
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Gary, may I have roll call?
Trustee Guerrero.
Yes.
Trustee Phillips.
Yes.
Trustee DeSalvo.
Yes.
Mayor DiNapoli.
Yes, motion carries, thank you. Next, we have a resolution before you authorizing the submission of a grant application for $5,000 to the New York State Department of Transportation for 2023 Transportation Alternative Program and approval of the local match contribution for sidewalk restoration, which will cost $6,521, $6,521,143. If I don't know if I have the map with me, but it's to replace, I don't want to say all, but almost every sidewalk in the village. I don't have it. So this resolution needs to go with the grant application.
And the grant, Mr. Mayor, is for $5 million.
What did I read?
5,000.
No, this, okay, you're right, I was wrong on it. This says $6 million on my agenda.
Right, but the grant, okay, I'm looking at the resolution and the grant is for $5 million.
Okay, that's right. Authorizing submission of the grant application for $5 million, New York State Department of Transportation.
Total costs.
And the total cost $6,521,143.
So that means if we were to get the grant, we'd have to come up with $1,521,000 as a matching?
If we want to do it.
If we want to do it, and I will tell you, like I saw them, I have the map, not with me, I wish I did. There's a lot of new sidewalks that were outlined to be done. Like on my street, I don't need sidewalks. So I don't think, I think if we were to get the grant, both the grant amount would be lowered, and so would, of course, then so would this.
Okay.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
May I have roll call?
Trustee Guerrero.
Yes.
Trustee Phillips.
Yes.
Trustee DeSalvo.
Yes.
Mayor DiNapoli.
Yes. Next, we have next resolution, introduction of local law to authorize the property tax levy in excess of the limit established by the General Municipal Law 3-C, and resolution setting a public hearing to the local law. The only thing I'll say about this, besides the date for the local law public hearing, I don't know how long the tax cap of 2% has been in place. Maybe 20 years. Might be a little less, not much. 15. We have never, the village, I'm very proud of this, we have never, ever gone over the 2% tax cap. So we've never had to do this. But with things that we've been hit with and things that we're up against, where you have to pass this local law that will allow you, doesn't mean you're going to, but allow you to go over the 2%. Again, we've never done this. Not picking on the town, they have their issues and up against the wall with a lot of things too, but they've done it almost every year. So that's different municipalities for different reasons.
Mr. Mayor, I might just interject that most municipalities pass this local law before they begin their budget process.
Just in case,
Just
I
in
guess,
case.
you know?
All of the municipalities I represent do this.
Yeah, we've been pretty good, we've been excellent at keeping under the 2%. I don't think you'd have too
We
many.
passed this local law last year and many years and not gone over the cap.
Yeah,
So it's just a precautionary adoption of the local law because you would have to, you can only go over it if you have this local law.
that's right, that's right. And so, as part of this resolution, I would like to make a public hearing at 7 p.m. on the 17th of January, which is our next meeting, 2024.
I would just like to add that, this doesn't have anything to do with water or sewer bills.
Right.
It's just property taxes alone. And to be able to forecast some of the numbers on the new budget season as we enter into them, could be a little difficult, but we might have, at some point, we're gonna have an idea as we go through the process. I'm hoping that we don't have to do anything with the property tax. I think we might see more probably in water and sewer adjustments for property taxes. However, as the town had, went through their process and was just under 10%, budget to budget, so, we have to do this. It's the way the law is written that makes us do it first. Another magical piece of legislation from Albany. So I'll make the motion.
Second.
We have roll call.
So discussion, I thought the discussion usually has to happen after the motion is made, so I was just waiting to do this talk. So a couple of things. One is that you're right, we haven't actually gone over the tax cap at all, right, in many, many years. But every single year for the past 7 years, we've had an operating budget deficit that is increasing. This fiscal year, our operational budget deficit was $1.1 million, okay? That means that we were spending more than we were taking in by $1.1 million. And we had to appropriate that for somewhere. Last year, it was $750,000 that we were over budget. The year before that, it was $500 and something thousand. So year after year, we have not been able to match our revenues with our expenses. How are we making up for it? We're appropriating them. And here's the problem, right? I don't really know where we're appropriating them from. When we appropriate something, we usually get it from either a savings account, some kind of surplus, or we're kind of like doing a shell game somewhere where we're getting it from borrowed money. And that's a problem. To me, that's a problem. For 7 years now, we've been appropriating funds from somewhere to make up for this difference in our expenses being so high and our revenues being so low. And I kept saying this over and over again. This is the 3rd year that I'm here. On the 1st year that I'm here, I immediately saw that on this budget, okay? And I immediately said to you, the public, we are spending well beyond our means. There's a problem here. The numbers don't add up. I've been saying that over and over again. But, we've been under the tax cap, so it's okay. But really, we've been kicking the can down the road. So this is what I would say about that. They say, well, we're going to make adjustments on your sewer bill and your water bill, but it's not really your taxes. It comes from the same pocket. It's your pocket, whether it's in the form of taxes or in the form of a water bill or in the form of a sewer bill, it comes from your pocket, okay? and we can change it up all we want, it comes from your pocket, okay? So this is what I would say, if you want to save money, you gotta cut spending. You don't raise taxes on people who are already paying double for their groceries. You don't. You're already suffering. And now we're trying to tell you, listen, we need a little bit of an approval so that we can raise your taxes. We may not, okay, but we may, okay? So what I'm saying is that what we need to do is look at this budget, year after year. I've been saying there are many ways to cut spending from day one. Many ways to cut spending and manage this $8 million that you guys give us to manage every single year.
Okay, Melanie.
Okay, so that's what I would say. That's the discussion.
All right, so I have a motion, and do I have a second?
Well, we had a second.
Ms.
but
Phillips.
I gotta make two quick comments. Number one, we don't deficit finance, so I don't know why that keeps coming up. It comes up time and time again. It's like getting on a soapbox and hearing the same old song over and over again. We do not deficit finance. I don't know why you keep saying that. Now, if you don't understand how a government budget works, that if you have, at the end of one fiscal year, you have a surplus of monies that you didn't use that gets applied to the new budget going forward, I don't know how else to make an example of it for you. So, you don't want to do this? Oh, no, that's fine. Listen, if the tax increase is 2.25%, you can't do it, because I'm going over the tax cap. So, I don't anticipate we're going over the tax cap, but, I mean, nobody was at the town hearings, 10%, you weren't there.
Okay,
You don't
I
pay
have a
that.
motion, and I have a second. I appreciate what I just heard, and again, I have a motion, and I have a second. May I have roll call?
Trustee Guerrero,
No,
Trustee Phillips,
Yes.
Trustee DeSalvo,
Yes.
Mayor D'Onofrio.
Yes, we have no choice. So, motion carries, thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is next resolution from the DASNY grant that we were awarded and have not received, but we know we are. For downtown revitalization, increase the appropriation code of A7120.043 for DASNY and downtown grant for $100,000, and the revenue code of A.3889 for the other cultural and recreation aid for 100. Is that 1,000? 100,000 for current fiscal year 23-24.
Sorry.
$1 million.
Yeah.
I know, that's-
Sorry.
It's 1,000.
I know, it's like an extra zero.
Sorry.
Okay.
But it's supposed to be 100,000.
Yes, it is, it is. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
May I have roll call?
Can I
Trustee
just ask, we've already spent this money?
No,
No, we haven't?
no.
Okay,
No.
so I thought we were spending, because I called them today.
Yeah, I know you did.
And I-
'Cause
oh,
I had an email, but that's okay.
Great, so I was wondering, where's this 100,000? I thought, she said that we already spent it, it's like,
No, she didn't.
and she named it.
No, she didn't say that, because we
She
didn't. We don't have it yet.
She said you've already spent, I don't know why she said that, she said it's gonna be for a veteran statue, LED lighting,
Well, she gave you what it's for,
what it's for,
and what it was approved for.
I see. So we
Not
can't
spent.
change that, right?
Huh?
We cannot change that. We already told her what we're gonna spend it on.
Yeah, they
and We're gonna
agreed.
spend it on
It has to be
that.
on Main Street, yeah.
Okay. I think the only worry that I had was that it's gonna be under this other culture and recreation aid, and I don't really know what that means. And unless it's all just downtown revitalization, where we're changing everything on Main Street, like what is it, a statue, a veteran statue, which I appreciate,
Thank you.
okay? LED lighting,
A lit sign, like it's the kind that's in front of the firehouse, that can put up events and people can know what's coming up. Some hometown banners, some street furniture.
yes, she said.
There's something else.
The most expensive.
It's the statue.
Okay, all right, as long as it's already spoken.
So, do I have where am I at?
Roll call.
Roll call. Roll call.
Trustee Guerrero,
Yes,
Trustee Phillips,
Yes.
Trustee DeSalvo,
Yes.
Mayor D'Onofrio.
Yes, thank you so much, motion carries. These are gonna be nice items for Main Street. See, we have the fire chief here. Next is Clement J., how do you say his last name? How do you say it? Krug. As a member of the fire department, pending a physical, per the recommendation of the fire chief. So we can approve him tonight pending his physical
We got it yesterday.
in the past.
I don't have paperwork.
But you hand that in too, right? Yeah, okay. So let's go by what it says here pending. We actually don't have it.
So moved.
Let's appoint him until you have it. Did you
Second.
second? Okay. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next is to accept the water treatment plant proposal from VRI in the amount of $357,035.64 per year, starting from January 1, 2024 to December 31, 2024, one calendar year. And the amount is based on the 2 to 3 year based on consumer index. I can tell the public that, I don't know if it was 5 or 6, so I'll stay with the lower number. 5 companies picked up the proposals and only 1 submitted back, which was VRI. That's why they're on the agenda tonight. And they've been up there for the last few weeks, doing so much work, straightening out the plant. It was a mess. Mess is an understatement. And I'm not going to go through the list, but making sure we have the right chemicals, making sure all the pumps and chemical feeders work. Very important, doing the reports that had not been done, that go to the county. The county was calling me quite often, wanted something done. We did do interviews for a chief water plant operator. How many do we have? 4.
With 4 of them.
4. And it ended up that they weren't interested. So this company takes care of, will take care of everything, the reading meters, the pool, everything but the distribution. In other words, if a pipe breaks, we fix it. We do that now. Even when we had folks up at the water plant, the highway department did it with help. Help was there to help them fix the leak. So they'll do markouts and just everything. And I will say this, and I don't have it, this is another piece of paper. I wish I had bought. When you add up the salary, huh? Yeah.
Yes.
Do you want to do that?
Sure. So if you take the approved 23-24 budget for water, and you take all the costs that are involved with personnel, you have to add them all in there. You can't stop at 270. You got to keep going because there's like state retirement, Social Security, workman's comp, health insurance. So when you add those two numbers together, plus the personnel costs on the other page, which is page 14, it comes out to $334,000 total cost for personnel. So it is a little more, no doubt about it. But having worked with Trustee Phillips on trying to interview and find somebody, it was very, very difficult. And even some of the numbers going back and forth and what we were trying to offer to entice them to come here, these numbers in this budget, we would have to go up anyway.
We would have been way over, yes, because it was hard to, first of all, get the proper people with the license. And for those guys that come here, they wanted a lot more than what we were offering. I mean, they wanted quite a bit more. At least with this company here, yeah, it runs you about, runs your money, there's no doubt about it. They have their own vehicles, so we don't have to worry about 2 vehicles. They are gonna take care of everything. The main thing is here is that these guys are 100% responsible for everything. We will not wind up getting gigged on not having reports done. There was a lot of stuff that was not getting done. I do not want to go into it, but we will not have these problems. So, yeah, and it's cost us a little bit more, but, it's a huge difference up there. That's it, so.
Okay, so I have a couple of things, I'm sorry. Where did you come up with 334,000? When you're looking at the water
Because you
budget,
gotta
the salary is 170,000.
Yep,
And then the benefits is.
Overtime?
No, you can't count that. And
Well,
then
can you count
the benefits come up to 123, so that comes out to
Melanie.
293.
Melanie, let me just say that, this will be real
I
quick.
don't feel.
You do have to count overtime because
It's budget or budget.
every Saturday and Sunday.
It's overtime.
is
I know
overtime.
what overtime is,
I know.
exactly, hang on, but I read this VRI proposal, okay, so number one, the proposal says that overtime is not included in this 357 that they're asking for. Overtime is gonna be charged to the village, $175 $125 an hour for a mechanic, if they had to come in for overtime or an emergency, and for a plant operator, $75 an
Not for the
hour.
weekend hours, but other
Okay,
things.
no, it says additional services for emergencies not included in the base work. So if you're counting apples to apples, not apples to oranges, the base that they want is 357,000. If you want the base, comparing it to what we have currently, it's not, overtime is not counted. So it's gonna be 170 plus 123, it's 294,000, which is $64,000 more than what they're asking for. Okay, so I am for privatization. I am, okay? But if only if it's gonna cost you less, okay? But right now, it looks like it's gonna cost you more. It's 357 base plus overtime, okay, plus overtime. So we've been having a lot of leaks lately. So that's a lot of overtime.
Well,
And their
They don't
hourly
come in to
rate
do
is
those.
They don't do
much
the leaks.
more.
they don't do the leaks.
And, well, then, that's even worse, right? Because
no,
really, as it
because
works now,
Tam-
the leaks are being done in conjunction with both DPW and the water department, right? And in fact, it used to be when Kevin Hurst was here, I think that he would have DPW not use them. DPW actually digs a hole, and then the two departments actually fix the leak, right? DPW and the water department would, but I wasn't here, this was a different time. So this is what I would say, you gotta be able to give us accurate numbers. You're not giving us accurate numbers, okay? And it's
That's your
not,
opinion, huh? That's your
it's
opinion.
actually more,
It's your opinion.
okay? So if we're gonna go for privatization, we should go for privatization as long as it's good for the community, which means we're actually saving them money.
Well, it's good for
Okay,
the
so-
community, Melanie, that we have somebody up there working and in charge. Yeah, it does cost more, but with DPW before, when they used to dig the hole, they had a full crew. Now they don't have those guys that are full crew. John Jones was out there the other day doing a leak by himself.
Yeah.
So it does suck, there's no doubt about it. But when you don't have people up there to run a plant, that's worse for the community.
Okay.
So-
No, I
Melanie,
think
it's
we
also-
need somebody to run the
Melanie,
plant, so
were you-
that's my other
Melanie,
question.
were you up at the,
And
have you been up,
Have
were
you
you
been
up
up
at the
there?
water plant?
No.
Check it out.
basically,
If you went
yeah,
up there,
it's no good,
if you went up there 2
No,
months ago,
it's
if you went
great.
up there today, you'd say, wow,
yeah.
wow.
So let me ask about
Okay.
this, right, we're paying them
And
right
forget the
now,
wow, there were state and county reports that weren't filed.
so you're saying
and
that
we
they're
were not-
better than the employees that we've hired in the past, is what you're saying?
I can only tell you that things are getting done now,
Okay,
and they weren't
so
before.
right now, we're paying them $5,000 a week, right? A week. Right, for their 2 licenses and also to run the
Oh, we
water
have 3
plant.
licenses, there's 3 licensed people up there.
But we don't need 3, we only need.
No, but we're covered 24/7, 7 days.
5,000 a week,
We need
right,
two.
yeah. Are we paying them 5,000 a week?
About that, right?
About that much,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so 5,000 a week.
That
right?
was
We're
until
paying
the
them.
contract, that was until tonight.
Correct, so 5,000 a week, 52 weeks, it comes up to 260,000 a year. Why 357? Why did they come up with, instead of, closer to 260, which would save us a lot of money,
Because our weekend guy, we're paying our weekend guy. This guy here is being hired by them for the weekend. We will not be paying the weekend person the
So the
overtime.
5,000 a week that we're paying this company right now does not include the weekends?
No, yeah, it's not included, what we're paying them is not including weekend. We pay the weekend guy. The village pays the weekend guy,
So
the
they're only doing
overtime.
Monday through Friday for $5,000, $1,000 a day. They're charging us to run the water plant right now.
But that's-
$1,000
by
a
these
day.
numbers, it breaks down to that.
So, and then on the weekends, we're on our own. We actually are paying somebody,
We're
On our own.
paying Chris, the part-timer, for right now.
so we're paying him the $25 an hour
For the
on
overtime.
Saturday and Sunday.
And
On top
holidays.
of the $5,000 a week that we're paying this company. And this has been going on for a couple of months.
Yep, and he's
Okay.
the same one that took over when Jack didn't have his license.
And, yeah, we were paying $2,000 a week
Mhm.
for that because Pablo had his license. So we were only paying for one license. It's really, really very expensive, okay?
It
So
is.
again, what
It
I'm
is
saying
expensive.
is that
It is
I
expensive.
Well, I
would,
agree.
you gotta give them the right notice, number one. Also, Pablo has a point. We should have RFPs. You know, you're
We
saying
did.
that.
We did.
We
We
did.
did.
Where is it? Where
We
is
have-
it?
Come into, don't take this wrong, come into the village hall, right on the counter.
Oh, well, it's
People,
not on my.
5 companies came in.
Five
Picked
companies
up.
came picked up.
Why won't
Huh?
you put it in my box?
You want it in your box?
Yeah.
Well, tell the clerk from now on, put them in her box.
Yeah, five
Give me a
companies,
copy.
5 companies picked up now, and only one turned in.
I mean,
So,
all
wait a minute,
Yeah.
wait a
You
minute.
gotta
So we
spend
don't
more
time
have
on
five
it.
right,
RFPs.
listen, do I have a
Five
motion?
Hang on, do you have 5 RFPs or
I just
not?
wanna add one thing.
No.
Do you have 5 RFPs or
Do
not?
I have a motion?
Not yet.
No, could I have a motion?
No,
We've
I'm
exhausted.
asking an answer.
Well,
Do you have 5 RFPs or 1?
They just want to pass it, that's it.
That's a big difference, okay? Do you have other companies who actually submitted a request for proposal so that we can negotiate a better price?
First of all, this will be the 3rd time. 5 companies picked up the proposal.
Pick
What?
up the proposal.
What do you want to say?
What does that mean? They actually submitted
There's
a
that, we
proposal.
put an ad in the paper, we put an ad in the paper,
Yes,
and these companies read that stuff, those
Yes,
legal
yes.
ads. And they came in
yes,
within the time frame
you're right.
and picked up a packet to put a bid in.
But they did not.
But they didn't.
So we only have one
That's
RFP.
right, I've said that.
Nobody else put a bid in.
That's correct.
I see, okay, and this is over a
I
portion.
mean, I can't make these companies put in.
Put
If
in a
I-
bid, because that's pretty high. To
put in a
me,
bid.
three
That's what that-
357 is high,
That's-
okay?
Well,
That's high.
you're saying it's high. You're saying. it's high.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You know, their water bills are gonna go up without
How
this,
many
now it's gonna go up
employees?
even more.
How many employees is that?
No, wait, whoa, we don't do
So-
it this way. That's not how I do
Okay.
the meetings, you know that. Can I have a
So-
motion?
15 times.
Make a motion.
You make a motion, do I have a second?
Second motion.
Discuss
That's- Okay,
Because I was told before we have to make a motion and
So
second,
what's
then we
no?
can have a discussion.
whatever you want.
Just so the public knows, in the,
Excuse me?
in the budget, it says salary slash overtime. You have
Excuse
to-
me,
You have to
wait a
include
minute,
that.
wait a minute, wait a minute,
Proposal
wait a minute,
says?
wait a minute.
No, you have to, I'm talking about what's here in the
No, I
budget.
heard
You have to
that, but does
include
the
it.
proposal say that it includes the same thing or not?
I'm just telling you, for the normal, everyday running of the business of the water plant, this overtime is usually eaten up by weekends. Because I have to have somebody on every single day, 7 days a week.
When,
So if you take their proposal and you divide it by 365, it comes out to $978 a day. Now, if I had 2.5 people on anyway, I'm gonna probably pay close to that, plus you have to include legacy costs. When employees retire, they're still there, they're on the books, whether it's health benefits, whether it's.
Jen, don't confuse the people. It says salary
Trustee
170,
DeSalvo has
overtime
the floor.
40,000.
Trustee
Hey, no,
DeSalvo
you don't do this. You don't do this unless you're being asked.
has
It's
the
every-
floor.
You're not a judge
Can I
in
have a
this
motion?
court. You're being paid
I got
by
a
these
motion, now I have a
people.
second,
Please.
because I can do this.
I am the
Don't do that. You are
parliamentarian.
not.
Do I have a second?
DeSalvo has the
Second.
floor.
Say, I have a second, Carrie, may I have
You
roll
need to
call?
stop that.
Trustee
I
Guerrero?
don't have
You're
to
being
stop
paid
that.
for these
Okay,
credits.
maybe
My
she's saying-
job
in
is
front of you.
parliamentarian.
No, no, no,
I'm
no.
Come back
telling
to
you,
her.
DeSalvo
She's-
has
she-
the
let her
You're being
talk.
paid by
Okay,
these
thank you.
people.
Do
You
the
are
rest.
not a judge here.
Trustee
This
Phillips?
is embarrassing.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you don't have a voice here unless
Go
you're
ahead.
being asked a question.
You want to start
Yes,
again?
it is.
Go ahead.
All right, Trustee Guerrero?
No,
No.
no, we don't have the,
Okay,
that-
I want the
that's it.
RFPs
Okay.
and it's more expensive.
Next,
Trustee Phillips?
Yes.
Trustee DeSalvo?
Yes.
Mayor D'Onofrio?
yes, motion carries, thank you so much.
When you
And
deal-
anytime anyone here or that's watching on TV wants to go up to the water plant, please, let me know, let any of the village board members know, and, we'll give you a tour, and you'll be, totally impressed. You would have been more impressed if you had seen it before, which I, to be honest with you, I took a lot of pictures, I have them down in the office. You should look at these
It was
pictures.
only one guy running the water department. Only one guy running the water
Next on the
department.
agenda,
No, 5
we
guys.
have, are you okay?
Only one guy was running
Are
the
you
water
okay?
Saying the
department.
truth.
You're telling the truth, that is why
Okay.
it's changed,
That's fine.
because it's up to you guys to hire more people. The same
Next
thing with
on
the
the
water department.
agenda
DPW don't have no
is,
people because you don't
the
have, you
issue
don't
that
hire,
we
it's on
have
your
with,
hands.
C partnership, with the sewer bill. We tabled that at the last meeting, and we need to come to a conclusion hopefully tonight,
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
okay?
So when the
Okay,
bill
so
goes out,
this
you
is the
don't
second
people.
time this has been brought up, right? The last meeting, this is, actually, we're talking about the mobile home park on Old State Road.
Down
It's
Rockville.
about, yeah, it's about 20 acres of land, there's about 30 mobile homes in there. And during the flood, a lot of those, not a lot, but, you know, about 3 to 6 of them actually got destroyed. There were a ton of leaks in there. And the problem is that the water leak has cost them water, water invoices of $29,000, and sewer, which is 185% of the water, is coming up to something like $54,000. So what they're asking us is, listen, you know, you need to give us a break. This was all just from water leaks. And the deliberation we had at the last village board meeting is, that's a lot of money. Okay, that's a lot of money. What do we do, right? And what I say is that, you know, we've set a precedence. As long as people come in and say it was a leak, we discovered the leak, we fixed it, we have a bill that says there was a leak, there's a plumber that says there was a leak, you know, please give us a break. And we've done it. We've given them a break. Okay, so now we're talking about $24,000 break. And it's harder for us to say, oh, okay, we're gonna give you a break. But the thing is, we have precedents. And these people in that mobile home park actually were very diligent. As soon as it happened, they tried to fix it. They have the invoices saying that they found the leaks. So, I don't know, I guess what we have to do, we have to follow the precedents that we already set, which is give it to them.
That's a complete change, and I appreciate it.
Complete opposite from
You
this.
must have talked to somebody.
I did, I was like, I had to figure out what was going on there. I was like, what's going on?
I appreciate it.
For you.
I appreciate it. Okay, so, let's be for the minutes. So if I can have a motion to adjust, now he's paid, he has paid the full amount, so he'll get a reimbursement check from the village. I suggested that he pay before the month of December ran out, because then there would be a late charge, and he did do that. So we forget the amount now, 30,000 something. Oh, okay, so here's what the reimbursement check should be to C Partnership. $30,347.43. Do you have that, Lene?
Yes.
That's what the motion should be if anyone wants to make it. That would be the reimbursement check.
But their actual bill was what?
What did they pay
Yeah.
in sewer? Well, what they paid with the full amount was 54, yeah, and change. I don't know, is that what you were asking me?
And then water 29.
He paid the full water.
Yeah.
Okay, so does anyone want to make a motion that they get a reimbursement check from the village for $347.43.
I mean, as I stated, I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second,
All right, as I stated at the last meeting, I understand that this is like a corporation or a business, but as trustee Guerrero has stated, as I stated at the last meeting, you know, we always set the precedent of, if the water bill was large because of a leak, we paid to treat that water. If there was a leak and the water went into the ground, it didn't go through our sewer system, so there was technically no cost to treat the water. So that's historically why we've reduced the sewer bill, because it didn't go through the system. Just so make sure. So I had said that last meeting, I don't wanna hurt the individual homeowner, because if we had set a precedence here, you know, the individual homeowner that comes in and says, hey, you know, I had a leak and I was away for 2 weeks and whatever. So that's why I support it. And I support the folks that live there too, and, you know, because their bills are just gonna go up if they didn't get reduced, so.
So I have a motion and I have a second. May I have roll call?
Trustee Guerrero?
yes.
Trustee Phillips?
As I said last meeting, no.
Trustee DeSalvo?
Yes.
Mayor D'Onofrio?
Yes, motion carries. I appreciate everyone's vote. Okay, next on the agenda, the last thing on the agenda is water and sewer bills, 2 water bills and 2 sewer bills that the property owner, that were sent out, but according to our records, but the property owner did not receive. And so because they didn't receive, as a trigger, hey, I gotta go pay my water bill, my sewer bill, there's $54 in change in late fees. And so I would ask the board to, again, I believe that the bills have been paid. I thought that they should pay them and then we can address it. And if the board voted to return the late fees, the village would send them a check. The total of late fees is $55.42. No one knows what happened to the mail. What happened to the post office? I don't know.
That's what happened to the mail.
So if we could address that however you want
And the payment
Move on.
history of that?
the payment history is exemplary. Never late. No, never late. I wrote it down somewhere. Thank you for reminding me. No. These people pay on time. They pay everything on time, as far as the village bills. So I'd like to see the $55.42 returned to them. $55.42. If we could have a motion to do that.
I make a motion based on the historical payment and receivables from the account holder, that we refund the $55.42 in late.
Second, it really is a matter of principle, it's not the amount, you know, these are
Right.
good, responsible people who have a stellar record, and they're saying they didn't receive it, they're not making that up, okay? If
Okay,
they
so
didn't
we-
receive it, they didn't receive it,
So we have a second, and may I have roll call?
Trustee Guerrero?
yes.
Trustee Phillips?
Mrs. Dapper lost her homework, so I just, you know, she would give me hell if it was me as a kid, so, yes, yes.
Trustee DeSalvo?
Yes.
Mayor D'Onofrio?
Yes, motion carries. Thank you so much. Yes.
Okay. I thank all of you, but, and I'm very glad to get it back, but this is not going to solve the issue going forward.
Elaine, you and I have talked about this
I know.
several times, and our records show, we have a printout, we have a company that does it. It's funny, you did receive the village tax, but you didn't get the water and sewer. I don't know.
Utilities
I
for
don't
an
know what
entire
happened.
year.
But let's pay attention to the next water bill. The next bill you'll get will be a water bill in May. And you should get it right in the beginning because they mail them out right away. They mail them out
Okay.
probably the last day of April. you know,
It
so,
was just a fluke.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, Ms. Deborah,
I would love to know what happened.
don't wanna point fingers, you know, we get them, you know, twice for the water bill and
Oh.
twice for,
Yeah, I've heard that.
but the thing is, with the post office being messed up, and they've been going through a lot of personnel, I know they've been going through a lot of personnel, and I'm not pointing the finger at the post office, it was brought up over here, the post office by a cat over there. And they're working on a Fort Montgomery post office, which is a little, and I see Bob, our guy that goes on Church Street and everything, he's got his own POV, and he's dropping mail from his POV to, which I think is illegal, but that's besides the point, but it's just, you know,
Right.
they're trying to do everything they can, so, yeah, I don't know what the heck happened, you know, and, you know, but,
Okay.
sorry about that.
Hopefully we can keep this part short, by all of us, trustee.
Yes, okay, liaison report. So number one, I want to thank Dee Moreno. I think most people know her. Dee Moreno and her business on Main Street, which is on 260 Main Street. It's called Crafty Dee's Canvas, for providing all of the Christmas decorations and Memorial Park, you know, again this year. That's really just super. She didn't charge the village anything. She didn't even charge the village for her labor to set it up. She even bought the Christmas tree that we lit after the holiday parade, which she and Sally Doors organized. Okay, so thank you for all that Dee Moreno and Sally Doors do. I mean, they're just great people who don't expect anything from us, okay? Just a quick plug, since it's the only thing I can do for her, to show my appreciation. Her business, again, located on 260 Main Street. It's an arts and crafts store. You can hire her to organize events for you. She's also on Facebook, and it's called Crafty Dee's Canvas. Secondly, the comprehensive plan that was just on Saturday, it was very well attended by the public, and that's great, because I would encourage more people to show up for the public hearing. You gotta show up if you want your voice heard. We need to revitalize Main Street. We need to revitalize the village. We need more revenues, okay, so that not the few of us are actually carrying the burden of the taxes, of the water bill, of the sewer bill. We need more people moving into Highland Falls. Your input is really, really important. We put 3 items of importance in a somewhat predictable form after that Saturday workshop. The zoning requirements is going to be somewhere near 1,500 square feet per dwelling, maybe less, okay, or much less, I hope. I'm hoping for 850. Number 2, we're reversing this board's decision in 2020 and turning Main Street back to residential from Dale Avenue, which is where Key Bank is, all the way to 9W, okay? And 3, we're providing an incentive zoning for developers, I hope, okay, who come in with a promise of adding things to their projects that benefit the community, and this is gonna make Olga happy, you know, something that's green energy, solar, you know, maybe we can give them a little bit more square footage. It's called incentive zoning. If they're gonna put up a medical office, you know, if they're gonna give us parking spaces for the public, give them a little bit more leeway on those requirements for the incentives that we can give them. Number 3, Senator Skoufis, he has been and continues to be an advocate for Highland Falls. Okay, if you don't know who he is, he lives in Cornwall, he's here in Highland Falls all the time. So he's an advocate for Highland Falls and Fort Montgomery. He's working hard to try to help us get a 12.5% state reimbursement for our flood-related project costs. FEMA provides 75%. He's trying to get us another 12.5% from the state. I always thank him for being visible. We're a very small community, but yet he and Assemblyman Ikas, okay, they're always here. They go to all our events, and they always show us their support. 4th, I'd like to welcome Nancy Sporbert and re-welcome Ty King and Bob Livesey to the town board. They got sworn back in just on Monday. And I'm glad to really see good, honest people in elected positions. Okay, Ann Molina, she's the director of the Center of Highland Falls. She wants me to let you guys know that in collaboration with the Town of Highlands Recreation and Information for Seniors, there's a hypertension seminar on Thursday, January 12, at the Town of Newburgh Recreation Department. It's at 9 a.m. They're going to be talking about the symptoms, the screening, how to diagnose and how to treat hypertension, which affects nearly half of all American adults. So please get in touch with either me or her. I'm going to let you know how to register for the event. Second to last, the auditors from the Office of the State Comptroller, they began their surprise audit on site just right before the holidays. They're looking into our books. I personally met with them before the holidays. I'm going to keep you updated on their findings, but they anticipate this process to take many months before they release any information, so I may not be giving you any information for quite a while. And lastly, for the month of December, the building department activities. Mr. Hannawald completed 48 building permit inspections. He issued 13 permits. He reviewed 14 applications. He did 10 fire inspections, and he completed 4 municipal searches. He was quite busy even for a holiday month. Okay, Happy New Year to all.
Just two things on, actually there's a few things I'm only gonna bring up two. I have a meeting Friday with the governor's office on a few issues, and one of them is definitely gonna be, it's already on the list, 12.5%. We need that 12.5% to go against FEMA 75%. So I will be pitching the Village of Highland Falls this Friday. As far as the auditor, a surprise audit, there was no surprise. 2 or 3 weeks before they came, as they always do, without exception, including this time, we got a letter. So it was not a surprise. And I welcome them. I'm glad they came. I'm glad, I think they're finishing up, but so I welcome them. Gary?
Just a quick couple of things. Obviously, bottom meadow, upper and lower, Jim's Pond, everything is filled. There's nothing to report. The spillways look good on the 9W reservoir and lower bottom meadow. Everything looks really well on there. We're going to replace, let's see, Wednesday? Yeah, they're going to replace tomorrow a chlorine process analyzer replacement. They're going to replace that. They are having, they had to calibrate it. The flow meters needed to be calibrated and the chart recorders calibrated. They had that completed. They are working on a couple of different other things. They are looking at the tanks to be cleaned inside and outside. I don't think we're going to be doing the outside because of we're supposed to be getting the colder weather and the snow coming up. So, but as far as the place looking good up there, they are picking up inside outside, and we are good to go so far. So, but that's it. And we're supposed to get snow this weekend. Just remind everybody that you have to make sure your car's in the parking lot if you're living on a side street, and help out your neighbor and shovel, and please be careful. Happy New Year.
Try to do a hydrant if you can.
Try to do a hydrant you can, yes.
It'll help. Gary, the other thing we're up there as part of FEMA is Upper Bog Meadow Road needs some work, some fill, so they're doing that.
Yep.
Jim?
Yeah, police department report for December, 806 calls. Of those calls, total arrests of 9, which went from everything from felony to misdemeanors and violations. 46 summonses issued. Those include traffic and parking meter tickets. Total revenues collected 301. Total mileage driven 5,041.2, and total gas used 468 gallons. In addition to that, after speaking with the chief today, just a shout out to everybody who uses EBT cards. So if you have residents who get extra support from the state or county through a program for food. They usually give you a card, very similar to a debit card. And they do electronic transactions called EBT. And just like you've heard for years, when you're sitting online at a Walgreens or a gas station, wherever, they're able to get the information off these cards. They're sitting in your pocket, or they're sitting in your back pocket in your wallet. If you don't have a wallet or a purse that's got a shield in it. So turn into one person, two persons, three persons, now we're up to 7. Of course, you know, it's all happening down in the city, someone's getting the information down there, they're selling it to them probably, and they're taking folks' money. So they go to use it, you know, they go to use the benefit, and it's not there. So, you know, as the economy is still a little out of whack, you'd see more and more of this stuff happen with this type of fraud. So I'm not telling everybody to go out and buy one of those wallets with the shield, the EV shield, but be mindful of, you know, when you're online, and maybe keep it in your hand, or make sure you know you have your whereabouts and who's around you, and see if they're trying to get information. And I feel sorry for those folks, but the police department is working with the AG's office, state police, sheriff's office, I believe too, whoever they can to nip this in the bud as quickly as possible. That's all I have right now.
Thank you. Quick, I'll tell you that, I don't know, it's been about a month, and the electric charges over here in the parking lot, now you have to pay, and we received a check, I think it's for a month, $400.26. So, people are using it. People are using it, and we're taking a little bit of money. Tonight, including tonight, is the 3rd meeting I heard praised as should be for the folks, for Dee, who, I know Dee, she's a wonderful person and deserves our thanks and praise for 3 meetings now. But there's not too many people that would do what she does. She has a family. But I want to thank some folks over and above Dee that are unsung heroes. Now, when you start, you all know this, when you start to list folks' names, you end up leaving someone out, and that's what's going to happen tonight. I've been thinking about this and thinking about this, and sometimes I would think of someone and write it down, but let's thank the following people, too, who helped make Holland Falls. You know, Holland Falls, I saw over the weekend the college football in Tennessee. I guess their slogan is volunteer. Is that right? Anybody know Tennessee college? Tennessee underneath for Tennessee. I think that could go back to a war, but if you want to talk about volunteers, Holland Falls has volunteers. And I know that all of you know this. I look at Eric out here, the fire department, they're volunteers. Look at the ambulance corps. Ooh. They're volunteers. Fort Member Fire Department, volunteers. You can't beat them. They're the pride of the Hudson. There's no question about it. But, and I wasn't going to do this, and only because the name got brought up again tonight, but let's thank Father Joe, Sacred Heart Church. Let's thank all the churches. You'd be surprised what they do. You'd be surprised who they help. They know where the need is, and they fulfill it. They don't raise their hand, they're not at a village board meeting, they didn't ask me to do this. They're unsung heroes. You know, we always get a phrase, these are unsung heroes. Village employees, you'd be surprised what they did. Lene, I want you to tell the staff, the office staff helped me so much. Letters to Santa. 77 kids we gave toys to. That takes organization, that takes people.
Time.
Time. Board members, I'm told board members don't do anything. Well, you can't say that to me. Even if you don't like me, you can't tell me I don't do anything. I want to tell you something. This guy down here on the end, he's an unsung hero. You are. I know what you did this past holiday, Thanksgiving and Christmas. You, same thing. Not just a coat drive. There was someone who came in after all the toys were gone. lady, young girl, 2 kids. I'm sorry. They had a good Christmas. Thank you, Judy. Kathy Jones. Say what you want. Kathy Jones. Tremendous amount of work she did. Cadets. Cadets at West Point. Cadets at West Point. Who so many of us knock West Point. Don't do that. Don't knock West Point. School children. Teaching them early how to give. School children who help. We praise Fufu every year. There's a good one. I made him Grand Marshal a few years ago. Well deserved. But we never talk about the helpers that are on these floats for 3 nights, just before Christmas, who have a lot of things to do at home. Heroes. Thanksgiving dinner. Where were all of you on Thanksgiving? Having dinner. Well, there's people out there that were making dinners for people and not being home. Christmas dinner. I did the Christmas dinner for 30 years. I didn't spend one Christmas at home in 30 years until I got home at night. That's okay. I did what I wanted to do. Now then Chris Burns took it over. Now his daughter took it over. That's what you want to talk about. That's an unsung hero. She is a chip off the block. That apple didn't roll from that tree. I was so glad when Chris took it over because I got tired. I got tired. Rotary. Collecting money. Collecting coats. Again, you always leave someone out.
I heard something about
So there's folks out, and then even if I could think of them and forgot them, God knows.
I heard something
God
about
knows.
biscuits.
God knows who they are. So I thank all of you people, all of you. Some of you gave. That's the same thing as helping. That's the same thing as volunteering. If you came in the village hall and saw the toys, you'd say, wow, the people here are good. If I forgot anyone, I surely apologize. There's no way I didn't. Of course I forgot someone. I know that. So, there's a lot of people to thank that make Holland Falls and Fort Montgomery a community that it is. And it is something else. I can end this after public comment. You want public comment? Good. Over here.
Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Mark Haber. I'm a dentist right by the park. Nice to meet everybody. Yeah, so you guys just passed some ordinance that is singling at my business. I know Councilman Ferrero was talking about bringing more business here. What you guys just did is answering, there's no place to park. And I know the park was destroyed by the flood. We see, I know this business has grown tremendously since we got here and during COVID, from Dr. Papa George. And if my patients have nowhere to park, what am I going to do? So I'm asking for the council to make some type of accommodation for my patients and for my employees here from the town, Arsenal, and allow us to conduct business. Normally we're not trying. Obviously there are parking concerns and concerns with emergency vehicles getting through, but we definitely need some more guidance, and so we can tell people where to park properly. But we also need more space because the business is growing. I feel it's unfair that we were singled out on this, but I understand, the town's got to do what it has to do. We are a service, you know, a healthcare service organization. We're helping people, a lot of people, helping people with Medicaid who are underprivileged or underserved. And we're bringing the best dentistry we can offer them. And we're using the latest in technology, stuff that they will not get in any other dental office in New York. I promise you that. And it's here in Island Falls. So I'm asking you guys to work something out for us so we can park properly.
So, Doctor, I think, as you know, I've had my police chief over there at least once, if not more times, with you. Maybe there were other times without you. This came to light because the dial-a-bus couldn't get through. And then if the dial-a-bus can't get through, the fire truck, I know you know this, but let me put the reason why we did it. And I think you know what I'm saying. If the dial-a-bus couldn't get through, then I'm not sure the ambulance and the fire truck could. So we had to make accommodations for that. Now, I do notice that some folks are parking against the outfield fence of Little League, picking up, I don't know the count, half a dozen cars. I saw them there. I figured they were within your place. But I have to, my number one job is to protect the village, and so I have to get fire trucks and ambulances through. Now, once, in fact, I think Trustee DeSalvo was in the meeting yesterday with me, with the engineer, and I want the Little League field done as soon as possible. That doesn't mean we can do it in the wintertime, but we can go out to, with bids and receive them and do it. We have to put a drain pipe in underneath the field that takes it across the road and dumps in the south end of the pond. But eventually next year that will be done and that parking will be available. But until then, it's tough.
Yeah, well, I mean, simple thing would be just moving, the barriers to where the parking lot used to be.
The road is gonna cave in. I can't do that. That's why that's there. That's how bad that road is.
Okay.
You can look, you see it.
Yeah, so, but again, what you guys just passed, is blocking parking on both sides of the road over there. I mean, if you, you have the corner of Row and Villa Parkway, then again on Row Parkway on the other side, on the north side. So, I mean, there's no reason to block parking on both sides of the road there, especially what's adjacent to our property.
Aren't the signs just on one side right now?
Well, yeah, but what you're saying here is.
It's on the west side. It's on the west side of
It's gotta give you
Pearl
a cross
Avenue.
section.
I'm not
We're
sure.
not adding any more signs.
Not any more signs?
No, it's the west side,
Okay, just the west.
not the
side.
housing side, the west side.
Okay,
We're trying to,
yeah.
we know you have a business here.
Yeah, no, I just, yeah.
So we're trying to make sure we could maybe just have parking on one side of the street. For now.
Right.
Until we get cleaned up over there and then we'll probably open it back up.
All right, hopefully in the spring.
Absolutely.
All right,
The wall is where the
The
west
wall
side.
was, no,
Where else will we have the signs?
the wall were the signs
We're
that,
picking a spot.
Okay.
you know.
yeah, I
I think
mean,
it's gonna get better, it's just really bad right now.
yeah, no, I get it. We were shut down for 6 weeks, you know. We're still
Yeah.
still that backlog.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of patients, a lot of people that need help, and you know, I don't know if anyone's had a business shut down for 6 weeks, but it's not fun.
No,
So anyhow, if there are any other issues, just please, you know, we're here to work with the town.
yeah, and we're here to work with you if something comes up that we're not thinking, but I've had the folks over there, police, the engineer,
Right,
we're trying,
okay,
okay? Thank you.
thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone?
Just real quick, Olga Anderson on Dealer Park. I just wanted to see if you could clarify, I heard tonight about, and we've talked before about paying somebody $5,000 a week to run the water treatment plant, is that correct? We have it. And then we also heard tonight that there were some deficiencies, that reports weren't submitted, that work wasn't done, and that was one of the reasons why we had to look for consult, this third party. So if we were paying somebody $5,000 to do all this stuff and they didn't do it, are we entitled to get some money back from them?
Yeah, I think all the deficiencies were.
The deficiencies were not on the company. I'm sorry, Melanie.
No.
Go ahead, go ahead. They weren't on the deficiencies. Go ahead.
They weren't under the
They
company.
weren't under the company that we were at. They were under
The company came in and fixed it.
What we had.
No, I know, I get that,
Yeah.
but before this new entity, VFI, right?
VRF.
VRF.
Yep.
Before that, it was a different consultant.
No, it was the same, when Jack Sibley did not have his license, it was the same company up there. They were in for a week or two until Jack got his license.
Okay, so I guess that's part of my confusion. So it sounded like they were getting paid, and then you said that there were some deficiencies, that there were reports that hadn't been done, and now we're getting caught up. So somebody wasn't doing their
That's
job.
not inaccurate, what you just said.
Okay, so that's my
If
question.
there was reports that were not get done, that when Jack was there and stuff, there were certain things that were not getting done when our guys were there.
Prior
Yes,
to
when the
consultant.
village employees were, not with this contract.
Oh, okay, so the contractor has been cleaning up everything.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
That's,
that was my question. Thank you.
yes.
Happy Healthy New Year to everybody. Michael Joyce, resident of the village. It's a new year, so we want to clear the slate, okay? And I kept on hearing numerous times from Mayor D'Onofrio about him being wrongly accused but convicted, and he kept on saying the truth will come out. So I'm giving you an opportunity for the truth to come out. Thank you.
No, you know what, you can say it. Don't even get up.
Okay, a couple things. You said you're going to have a meeting with the governor, so can you please ask, unless you have the information, she was going to contest, challenge, ask for a relook at the village damage, so maybe individual FEMA help would be available, like, foundations and, heating systems and hot water tanks and, people lost everything, like, along the brook,
No question about it.
retaining walls. If that's something that's still in the works, or is it definitely not happening? Does anybody have anything
So
on that one?
I'll say this to you, I need to be careful because everyone holds me accountable as they should. I didn't say I'm meeting with the governor, I said I'm meeting with the governor's office.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. I'm hoping they pass my words on.
Yeah.
Listen, a lot of folks in here have heard me say this. I don't understand why individual assistance didn't happen. And here's why I say that. First of all, I happen to know the need, I saw the damage. But if the village, which they do, has $35 million in damage to municipality infrastructure, water plant, sewer plant, roads, whatever. Here's the water plant, here's the sewer plant, and FEMA's gonna help. Thank God. Would the water jump over all these houses between this plant and this plant? No, it went through those houses to get to the sewer plant. Maybe I'm being too simple. But that's how I see it. Shame on them. Shame on them. And I wish that elected officials would have fought even harder.
So as of right now, we're still not eligible for...
Right now, they call it IA, individual assistance. No. You
Okay.
know why? No one's talking about it. No one.
The other thing, you're talking about going over the 2% cap, and I get it, it's not guaranteed, but we all know where things lie at this point,
Sure.
and many factors go into that. Obviously, you're gonna have to be charging more for water, since that's gonna be costing more. Are you considering what this is going to do for homeowners who are on a fixed income, retired? Like, how are they gonna be able to afford all these, increase the taxes, increase water, increase sewer? That needs to be something that's looked at 100%.
Richie Sullivan, I would like you to put your fingers in your ears, because I'm gonna say something. And I don't want a rebuttal from you, because I
You already
respect
said
you
the
know,
town is going over the 2% tax cap.
yeah.
They never have in the whole time I've been on the board.
Yeah.
That's incorrect.
You passed
So say what you're gonna
legislation.
say.
You passed it, okay,
Passed the
but they
legislation.
just went up almost 10%.
Yes, and I understand why, because I
No one
actually
says
paid
a word.
attention.
Thank God, I'm glad for them. I'm glad they don't have to do this.
No, I understand because I actually paid attention and read it,
Okay.
which is why I know,
So if you
I'm
took their
90% sure
reasons,
you're gonna have to. go
I
through
didn't
this
read what
percent.
you read, but if you took their reasons, I'm assuming they're the same, basically the same reasons we have. We wouldn't have different reasons.
Yeah, it was, I mean, it
I didn't
was,
read what you're telling me you read, so I,
it was all over social media, the reasons why their budget increased. And I'm not saying that I'm not even saying that's gonna happen to us. And the water and sewer rates, probably they're gonna have to be looked at, probably not so much those sewer rates, but probably the water rates.
Well, water
But that
rates
was-
go up, the sewer rates automatically go up.
That's
We
the
can,
fact.
wait a minute, time
No,
out,
no, no.
time out, time out.
It does not.
We can pass a resolution that wouldn't affect the sewer,
Exactly.
okay? So, yeah, okay, I know that.
Okay.
Doesn't need to be hostile. I'm giving you information.
I'm not being.
Not you,
no, okay.
So the water probably gonna change. I'm hopeful that property taxes will probably stay just where we've been in the last 10 years. But, you know, again, as we start to meet and deal with the budget, we're gonna open it up. We're transparent in that regard. Everybody knows what's going on. I'm not gonna lie about the numbers. The numbers are what the numbers are. It's in the book, black and white.
Okay, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Wait, one more.
I wanna have
Fine,
faith,
how many
I'm
questions?
sorry, I wanna have faith in my leadership, and you said the truth would come out. I wanna hear from your own lips
Motion to adjourn.
what happened.
What do you have?
I would like to say something again. Again, I am a village employee, my name is Pablo Pulido, you should know me by heart. I want to correct something because I think it's wrong. I was in the water department, and I've been running the water department by myself. Listen to that now. By myself for the last 3 months when Jack Sibley left, all right? And I've been doing the best that I could. It's not my fault that these people over here didn't hire somebody to replace the chief operator, which is the only one that can do the reports. I cannot do the reports because I'm not the chief operator. The other stuff I say is, it was a disgrace, I have pictures. Why don't you show them the pictures? It was a tool left over here, a bag left in the ground. I'm by myself, reading water meters, doing water leaks, maintaining the water with all the chemicals, ordering the chemicals, doing the daily reports, which I'm supposed to do. The chief operator is the one that has to do the reports to send it to the county. I asked the county if they had anything against me that I didn't do right, and they say, no, you fine. It's nothing in records that you did nothing wrong. So I want to clarify that I was by myself 3 months over there, and now you guys are going to say
Okay.
that the employee wasn't doing
And
the
Pablo,
job.
thank you for giving us 30 years.
Yeah,
And I've been there 30 years in the
Yes.
village, and not how they treat me, I don't know.
so, I'm gonna,
Can't comment on political issues.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, I just would like to make a comment on the fact that I really think that we would benefit from having more of a discussion forum in this village, because you guys are, I mean, you're 5 people, and you're making pretty big decisions based on the rest of us. But we speak here and we don't even really get a response all the time, and, I mean, I really think that some of these issues deserve a real discussion and not just a few of you making a decision for all of us.
Well,
Yes.
in certain cases, we cannot discuss employees' matters. So you come up and you can say what you want, you can put on a show, a song and dance, whatever you want, but we cannot discuss employee matters.
Gary, I don't think
So-
that's what
And then
she's
the other-
talking
No,
about.
no, I'm just saying that, no, I'm just saying that's one, there's certain things that we
what do you want us
cannot
to do, have a
discuss.
meeting before the meeting?
Well, where can we get
No,
more
I'm asking
information?
you.
I mean, I asked prior to about the agenda, comments on the agenda. Where can we get more information about the things that are going on at the meeting so that we can
Well-
show up more prepared? Where can we have more of a discussion forum to
do
actually
you guys
gain
do
more
down in town?
understanding of what's going on?
What's that?
What do you guys do down in the town with your agenda?
Well, they're on the website before, and anybody, there's people that will call me sometimes about things on the agenda
Yeah.
before the meeting,
Yeah.
and I'll talk to them.
Yeah,
They have my email and all that,
Yeah,
and the meetings are open to the public, and they come.
so you do the same as we do.
Yeah,
Well,
so,
Lydia's not
so,
asking about the tone.
Okay.
And there's certain
Asking
things,
about both boards.
so
mean,
I
we're
just
all saying
would like to
clearly
make
why
a comment,
aren't
a
we
real
having-
quick one, and I don't like tit for tat. 4 years ago, it was said that we don't have a water tank as a reason for turbidity in Highland Falls. We really do have a water tank. Joe and I discussed this letter that everybody made a big deal out of. The village had no violations. That's why nobody got a letter. The town did, and we're dealing with that. We got our water from the village. What we don't do is get water at Corbin Hill from wells. That's a dangerous public statement, and we don't get them from wells. And as water liaison, anytime anything comes up, whether he calls me back or not, I contact Gary. Communication is the key. Back when that storm came on 218 and that pipe broke down there, the first time, okay, it was underwater. The second time, it was a village break, it was a misunderstanding. The town put out a boil alert on a matter that was actually a village matter. And that caused a lot of confusion, to which I'm sorry they communicated with the Department of Health, and that's what the Department of Health told them to do. Had Gary and I spoken, none of that would have happened. So I make the emails and the phone calls, and with my building inspector, before the election, I see everybody saying he's not doing enough. After the election, there's people calling for his removal immediately. This guy's a product of our community. He got injured during the storm. His father's been a local builder for many years. I'm disappointed to see that in this community. And I will say at the town board, we try and keep that under control for the most part. That's my comment.
Thank you, Rich. Okay.
yes.
Can I ask you, what was the motion?
Me, Gary.
Forget about me. Yes.